When it comes to making a responsible energy decision for your family and the planet, choose clean natural gas from Atmos Energy. Natural gas is safer and more reliable than other energy solutions and can reduce your home's carbon emissions by up to 45%. By using less total energy than other energy sources, natural gas lowers your impact on the environment. It's just another way that Atmos Energy makes your life better. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Hi, I'm Roger Cador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Welcome to week 9 of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with Coach Cador at the Shoppers Value Foods in the Colonial Shopping Center, rather. Coach, as always, we start talking a little Jaguar football to start the show. Another win, Western Division opponent, no less, against Prairie View. Jaguars look like they kind of found their stride now, Coach.
They really are playing really good football, and they're winning at home and on the road. And I'm telling you, they're scoring a lot of points. Every now and then the defense shows a little kink in the tank armor, but they bend and without breaking. They're doing the George Allen thing, and by not breaking. I want to just take the time out to just say what a fantastic job Coach Odom have done.
Yes, sir.
See, a lot of people taking it for granted. They don't know how shorthanded that gentleman was.
Yes.
When he only had 12 people he signed, a class of 12 people.
Right.
And he had to do with a lot of walk-ons. They're not going to give him credit. But so Coach Odom, kudos to you, big guy, for the great job you've done. Big
time. It seems as though the Bayou Classic, at least on paper, is shaping up to be, pardon the pun, another classic.
It is a classic. I think it's going to be another classic. And this would be a great time for them to knock off that hated rival.
Yes.
Punch Gremlin in the mouth.
Yes.
And go in and take that Western Division title. Oh, well, it'll be the SWAC title. I mean, to play for it.
Yeah.
You know, this will be the last year East will play West for the championship.
You talk about Grambling State. They did stumble a little bit this past weekend against UAPB. Still came away with the win, but it's a pretty safe bet, stumbling at the latter stage of the game or not. Come Superdome time, they're going to be geared up and ready for us.
Oh, I mean, you know, just think about a lot of those kids grew up together, played against each other, or family or teammates, and now family will be arguing with each other, fussing and fighting. When it's all over, they'll be hugging and kissing each other.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we're going to go that far, but I understand the sentiment, Coach. Southern quarterback Austin Howard set a new record for Southern quarterbacks, both in scoring and in yards. Conventional wisdom, a lot of people probably told this kid at some point, look, you're only 5'11". You're not quarterback material. Can you measure and put enough emphasis on heart, Coach, when it comes to playing the game?
I tried to convince them to come pitch for me. I saw him pitch.
That's right. He was a great baseball player.
He was a hell of a pitcher in high school, but he's turned out and done a fantastic job for Southern University at the quarterback position. And you never know. You can tell kids all you want. They're, at the end of the day, they're the one that determine who they really are. I think about little Altuve, the little kid from Houston. I mean, he got cut and came back the next day, and now look at him. He's a perennial all-star, and they won the World Series. So don't tell little kids what they can't do. Let them determine that themselves.
Of course, now, a lot of times when you tell a young kid what he can't do, kids being kids, that's almost more of a motivation for them to go out and prove you wrong, right?
Yeah, you need that kind of motivation. See, sometimes negative motivation has positive effect.
Yeah. Well, in this particular case, that's about as powerful and as positive as you can get, and a very special tip of the hat and big time congrats to Southern quarterback, now all-time record-setting quarterback, Austin Howard. When we come back, we'll talk a little LSU Tiger football when Week 9 of the Roger Cador Show continues. Stay close.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawings for VIP suite experiences, a deluxe limo experience, a tunnel team experience, official autographed team merchandise, and the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagined big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, one family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit Breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Welcome back for segment 2 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. And today we come to you from the Shoppers Values Foods on Airline Highway, more commonly known as the Colonial Shopping Center. So far this season, we've been to Government Street, Harold's Ferry, Plank Road, Baker, and now here in the Colonial Shopping Center. When you're looking for a great place with outstanding value on all your food and household needs, Shoppers Value Foods is the only name that you need to know. Coach, we start this segment talking a little LSU Tiger football, taking on the hated Crimson Tide. And despite predictions of a massacre, the Tigers managed to hold their own. Is that why you have to play the game and not listen to what the talking heads all have to say?
That's why they've always played the game. Mm-hmm. You know, many times in history, you know, the underdog have proven to be David.
Yeah.
When he looked at the big giants, the Goliaths, and he said, give him to me, I'll take him on. And this weekend, LSU did everything, beat Alabama in every phase of the game except on the scoreboard.
Right.
They outrushed them and they outpassed them, I think. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't score enough consistently.
Right.
And to beat Alabama. But, you know, it's a moral victory for them.
I had as my very next question the fact that LSU outgained the Crimson Tide offensively, but still came away with a loss. And that's the baseball equivalent of registering more hits than the other team, but still losing. What do you tell a team after a loss like that?
Well, you know, you tell them, guys, y'all did well. We just got to get better.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's really what you do. You say you want to praise them, even though you lost.
Right.
But you want to tell them, at the end of that, you got to tell them we got to get better. Mm-hmm. We've got to improve in these areas if we're going to be able to play with the upper echelon type of teams. And that's what their goals are going forward. They have a group of young players, so now they want to improve to be able to finish things off.
I would have to think that despite all that has happened to that team so far this year, particularly with the homecoming loss to Troy, the Mississippi State debacle, the whole nine, against Alabama, even though it was a loss, you got to think this team, if their heads are on straight, come away believing in themselves now more than ever.
They certainly have, and they will do it. And I think going forward, they have 3 more games, or 2 for sure.
3 more conference, yeah.
If they run the table, they put themselves in a pretty good position. They could end up finish like, I think, 9-4 or something like that, or 9-3. So they could really end up doing quite well.
Now, on the flip side of that coin, how much do you worry about a letdown after such a Herculean effort against the Crimson Tide, even though it resulted in a loss?
Well, you're always concerned about that because the human nature and young people
Right.
in particular, so you always are concerned about it. But at the end of the day, it was still a loss. So coaches will still be pushing them
Right.
harder during the practice session this week to try and get them to improve on the things they didn't do well in the Alabama game.
When we come back, we will move ahead to segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay with us.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawings for VIP suite experiences, a deluxe limo experience, a tunnel team experience, official autographed team merchandise, and the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
Welcome back for segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. You know, we talk a lot about things that are uncertain these days, whether or not the Jaguars are going to win, Tigers are going to win, Saints are going to win. But when it comes to your health and the health of those that you love, you don't want uncertainty. You want to know without a shadow of a doubt that you have access to the finest health care available. That's where Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center on Hennessy Street excels, ensuring the quality of life for so very many people, and we are so very happy to have them. As a proud sponsor, Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, sponsors of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, we shift gears now and talk a little bit about the New Orleans Saints, racking up their 6th win in a row. Started off the season, 2 disappointing losses. I don't think a whole lot of people saw this one coming, Coach.
They probably didn't, and they wanted to have the guy's neck and get rid of the team and bury the Superdome. Right. But this is why you really just can't do it. Let the thing play out. Let the people play. And the Saints are playing such good defense right now. I think that's where the greatest improvement has been.
Without a doubt. And ironically, just 2 years ago, they were setting records for futility on defense. How do you get such an enormous turnaround so quickly?
Well, I think the scheme is different, and plus they've been healthy. If you could put the same people out game after game and they know the scheme and can execute it,
right,
I think everything becomes a lot easier.
You mentioned Coach Sean Payton earlier at the top of this segment. He picked up with this win his 100th win as the Saints head coach, 106 wins total, moving him past the legendary Vince Lombardi for number 41 on the all-time win list. That's some pretty impressive company, Coach.
I was saying, didn't know he passed Vincent.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good, Sean. Keep it up.
The remaining schedule pretty conducive for them to make a deep run in the playoffs. How far do you think this team can go, Coach?
Well, I don't want to get into it. Let's play the game this weekend,
right,
and see what happens. I think that's the smart thing to do right now, because you don't know from week to week with injuries what is going to happen. So you have to just take it one game at a time and not worry about what's going to happen in December.
When you start believing the hype, obviously you open yourself up for things to happen. Who do you think is easier to keep on track and not believe the hype, the college athlete or the professional?
Well, the professional athlete, because they're pros. This is their livelihood.
Right.
And they try to be professional every week because they know their livelihood depends on performance, execution. So athletes, college students, everybody in their ear, they start believing some of that stuff.
Right, right.
You know.
When we come back, we'll have a special look at a special gym right here in Baton Rouge, one that you may not be aware of, but hopefully after Aaron Fulbright's segment, you'll be going out and enjoying it. Stay with us. You're watching The Roger Cador Show. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Roger Cador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Pod's moving in storage.
I need to clean out my study.
We'll deliver a container.
My brother-in-law's moving in.
Maybe he'll help you pack.
He's lazy.
We can refer some professionals.
It's just until he finds work.
We can keep things at our storage center for as long as it takes.
I am not happy about this.
Or you can keep your things on site for quick unloading.
Did you say freeloading?
I said unloading.
I heard freeloading.
I'm sure you did.
Store on site or let us drive your things to our secure storage center. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
Welcome back for segment 4 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. You know, Coach, we as humans, a lot of times, we engage in reimagining things. We imagine what might have happened had LSU beaten Alabama, if Southern had won 10 in a row in the Bayou Classic. Well, recently, we reimagined something, you, the voters of our parish, and it's regarding Breck and the outstanding job that they've done on Greenwood Park. Special correspondent Aaron Fulbright spent some time with Breck's director, Carolyn McKnight, and files this report. Aaron, take it away.
Breck has over 180 parks here in Baton Rouge and a variety of programs that they are helping to bring a healthy community to our residents. Well, one of the big parks that they're working on is Greenwood Park. They're reimagining that and trying to make it one of the first regional parks here in Baton Rouge. In 2014, Breck started the Reimagine Greenwood campaign to make the Greenwood Park the first regional park of the agency. The park is set to have a host of amenities that are sure to attract locals to the area, but also bring in tourists to the city, which in turn will increase the economic growth of the city.
Well, we had talked about what would we do with Greenwood Park if the zoo moved to another location. We're not sure exactly what is going to happen with the zoo because currently we're looking for land. And if we find land that is in a very highly visible location, to put the zoo in the best possible position for success, then when we move, we will not leave Greenwood Park vacant. And that's the thing that I want people to understand. When we move, we reimagine locations. We don't just take and close up shop and board up shop. We move, we do wonderful things for the community.
The new park would feature a large adventure playground, Liberty Lagoon type water park, expanded picnic areas, basketball courts, fishing areas, and more exercise trails. It will be a one-stop shop for an outdoors person.
So that would be one idea. We also talked about building a practice track where the students from Southern University and other students around the parish actually could come in and practice running on the track. We have an area of Greenwood that we're proposing to build some nature trails for horseback riding and cross-country running. We're also looking at the actual site where the zoo is currently sitting, and the zoo would actually, if it moved, we would take and create an adventure zone. We would have zip lining, rock climbing walls, all kinds of ropes courses and adventure playgrounds, a little Ferris wheel, just an amusement party type area, as well as passive open space for picnicking, for canoeing, for kayaking. And so we'll have other spaces around the park to do all of those things currently, where we just have the Greenwood Park location.
The revitalizing of the park is hoping to bring more attraction to this area of the city. It comes at a time when the city was looking to relocate the Baton Rouge Zoo. This is something many people in the area were upset with.
We're thinking about all of those type of things to make sure that we bring the park to the people. Give the people what they really enjoy, because at this point, our research shows that the community surrounding that particular park are not coming to the zoo. So we would bring some amazing amenities into the community that they would enjoy, that they would participate in, and they would get a real benefit from. We anticipate we would go from probably, well, with the zoo we have about 100 employees, but about maybe 10% of those employees live around the zoo. Well, if the zoo moved to a more sustainable location, we'd probably triple the number of employees we employed at the zoo. We would also bring new jobs for both teenagers as well as others, because
with a regional park like this, hundreds of tourists and locals will be hanging out at the park.
But our goal is to make sure that we bring amenities to the park that people will actually come out, spend time, and enjoy, and build families and build community together.
Right. I'm excited to see what the new Greenwood Park is going to look like, and we may only have to wait 5 years. Hopefully that everything lines up and that's when it is complete, because I can't wait to see what it brings to North Baton Rouge and to the southern community and everybody in that area. So until then, we'll wait and see what's going to happen, and please go out and enjoy those parks. Back to you, Clarence.
Aaron, thank you. Great job, and great job, Carolyn McKnight, and all the outstanding folks over at BREC. When we come back, we will wrap up this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay with us.
Pause moving and storage.
We just sold our house.
Congratulations.
We have 2 weeks to move.
We'll deliver a few containers.
Our new home's not ready.
No problem. You can store things with us while you're between homes.
We might need help.
We'll refer trusted packers.
We'll be staying at my brother's.
Well, that sounds...
He has kids of his own.
Well...
5 of them.
Ma'am?
Help.
Trust us for local and long-distance moving and store at our storage centers. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
It was nearly a decade ago that BREC teamed up to imagine your parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, one family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit BREC.org and see how together we have made BREC better than imagined.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Welcome back for the closing segment of Week 9 of the Roger Cador Show. And again, we come to you this week from Shoppers Values Foods in the Colonial Shopping Center. Very, very gracious host, and of course, looking out for your well-being when it comes to absolute rock-bottom prices and super service for all your shopping needs. Coach, last week when we taped the show, the World Series has not yet been completed. Did Major League Baseball and the United States of America, for that matter, we needed a really good World Series, didn't we?
We certainly did. And they deliver. The Astros and the Dodgers delivered just that. I think we needed to be a healing thing, as you mentioned so many times about the country being divided.
Right.
And I thought that the way they competed, they showed people everybody can live together and work as a team.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what's the good thing for the Astros.
Alex Bregman, of course, did LSU very proud and Louisiana proud. I ran across a story that said they could tell this young man was going to be special at an early age. I want to say it was at the age of either 5 or 6 years old. He's playing on a team. He makes an unassisted triple play. The rest of the kids, they're digging worms out of the dirt and this, that, and the other. He's executing an unassisted triple play. Sometimes you can just see in kids, even at that age, that they're special, can't you?
Well, you can, but the key was this guy kept working. Someone also told a story that he was at a football game, and he left at halftime and went to the Alex box and started hitting and having someone hitting feeling ground ball. That's how you become special.
Yeah.
When you can separate yourself from what everybody else is doing and going and harnessing your skills.
As we usher out baseball, we also usher in basketball. Do you ever think how different your life would have been had you pursued basketball as a career instead of baseball?
Well, I probably wouldn't have made it.
You would have made it, Coach. You had that determination.
I had
I mean, after all,
determination.
you were cut. The coach told you, don't come back here. And the very next day, you showed up.
I certainly did. I was a little stubborn back then, but it was all I had. He
Right.
was taking away all I had. I couldn't let him do it.
Once again, the Jaguars now have a basketball program that they can really be proud of. How important is it that the Jaguar Nation come out and pack the mini dome so that we can have a basketball team and program like the glory days of SU basketball?
Well, you know, it would be nice if that happened, and I'm hoping they come out because it's a young coach. Give him a chance.
Right.
Coach Odom begged him to come in football, and we couldn't get him there.
Well, Jaguar Nation, the onus is now on you. You have the facility, you have the team, you have the coaching staff. The only thing here missing is you. On behalf of our entire crew and, of course, the coach, I'm Clarence Buggs. We'll see you next week with another edition of the Roger Cador Show. Go Jags.